So this is my 2003 Trek 2000 that I acquired a few months ago. I decided to get back into cycling after a long time away from the saddle because I was doing production work and also teaching tennis professionally. And having retired from both, I needed some exercise, and of course nothing is better than cycling. I have pretty much rebuilt the entire drivetrain, including a new free hub, cassette, bottom bracket, replaced all the ball bearings and the hubs, and the only thing I have really left to do is to change out these brakes to some Shimano 105 7000. And after I've gotten back into cycling, and of course, social media didn't exist years ago when I was in cycling, but I have noticed that in social media, it's just horrific the way people are so condescending and are so ready to just jump on any and everything that they see to basically make people seem like they just don't have a clue of what they're doing. And one of those main things is this right here. As you can see, I have my bike sitting, not clamped right now, but sitting in my bike stand. Now, mind you, bike stands, when I was in cycling in the late 70s, early 80s, bike stands were really expensive. I mean, you couldn't find one for no less than $400 or $500, and they were made of heavy steel, and they really aren't as nice as some of the cheaper stands that you can get today. Like this stand right here, I got for less than $100, but it is really, really good, and it works really, really well. And one of the things that a lot of people will ask, as a matter of fact, I was asked just today, why would you clamp your bike on the top tube? And I see that all the time. And whenever anybody has a picture or a video of their bike clamped on the top tube, everyone says, oh, wow, you shouldn't do that. You really shouldn't do that. That's going to really hurt your frame. Why would you do that? As if you're just too stupid to understand how a bike clamp works. Now, I want to show you something because this is important, okay? These bike stands have really, really nice adjustments, okay? As you can see, this is sitting on here, and if I come off this and do this, it's not even touching. It's not even clamping, okay? It's just sitting here, okay? So what I want to show you is this, okay? All right, I just want to show you just how these clamps work, okay? So I've got my finger in here, and I'm going to clamp down my finger. Boom, okay? So that clamp is there, okay? I can pull my finger out, okay? Now I'm going to go back in. I'm going to clamp it again, okay? And now I'm going to tighten it down. I'm just going to tighten it, tighten it, tighten it, tighten it, tighten it. Okay, yeah, that's enough. I can't pull my finger out now. See that? My finger won't come out. The bike is clamped. I'm sorry, my finger and the bike are clamped, okay? So I come back a little bit, and I can just about slide my hand out. So that's the type of adjustment that are on these clamps now, okay? And they come with really, really nice rubber pads. Of course, this one came with a set of replacement pads. But as you can see, the rubber is nice and pliable, and it's got nice cushioning to it. So basically, when I clamp my bike down, I basically do this and then just tighten it up. And right about there, boom, the bike is now secure. As you can see, it's not sliding, it's not moving anywhere, and the bike is secure. I can work on stuff here, I can work on things here, but the bike, the actual top tube has no real pressure to deform it. Even the cabling underneath is not really pressing up against the tube, because again, you got the nice rubber bands here, but if you look close, you can see how the grooves actually have spacing so that cable isn't pinched either. Okay? So it's just really, really weird how people are so ready to say, oh my God, why are you doing that? You're gonna actually, dent your top tube. That's dangerous to do. Well, there's almost no pressure on here, but because these nice, rubber grips are so grippy, basically the bike, as you can see, is secure in the stand. And just back off of it. Now, whenever I actually loosen this up or get ready to take it off, I always back off first and then unloosen it so I have enough room to actually take the bike off, okay? Now, let's deep dive into this just a little bit, because I saw someone post again today, and they said that basically the seat post is literally designed to be clamped as opposed to anything else on the bike. The actual seat post is designed. Now, how do you design a seat post to be clamped in this? Here's where the center point, the balance point of the bike is. You don't measure from the end of the top tube to the middle of the top tube. No, you measure from here to here to find the balance point. Okay? So let's just look at this. Let's just take a little look here, okay? So here's the balance point. And so I'm going to take the bike, okay, and I'm going to shift it to where the balance point is right in the middle of the clamp itself, okay? So that's right in the middle. And immediately you notice the bike is already tilting forward. Let me take off the third hand here, okay, by Park Tool. Love this thing. And let's just let that sit. Okay, and you can still see the bike wants to tilt forward just a little bit. If we go forward just a little bit more, okay, you can see that bike is wanting to tip. Look at it. See it? It's wanting to tip. Right now the balance point is about right here. You can see it. I'm gonna actually put the third hand back on. Okay? Because again, I'm going to have this pretty much on the handlebars when it's on the stand. So now look at it. You can see the bike is tipping forward. Look at that, okay? Tip it forward just a little bit more. Look at that. So now we've got all this weight going this way, okay? And you can see this bike really wants to tip off right now. And if it wasn't for these rubber shoes, this thing would just slide right off. And so now what? We're saying, let's put all this torque right here. The only time that I say you should really clamp the seat post is when you don't have wheels and the drivetrain connected. Okay? All right? Because basically right now you're putting a lot of torque on this seat post and where it is connected. And then when you're talking about a carbon frame or a carbon seat post, that's basically sustained torque. It's just going to say, right now, this is actually torquing. All this weight wants to pull this way. Okay? All right? So when you talk about actually, mounting your bike on a bike stand, I absolutely do not agree that this is the only place that you should do it, or that you should really do this at all unless it's necessary. I've seen people take these bikes, they'll undo this and then turn the bike up and turn it all kinds of ways, but there's a lot of torque right in this area right here. Okay? So when it comes to mounting a bike on a bike stand, it is perfectly fine to find the balance point on that top tube, or should I say on your bike, and then do a light clamp, and then you slowly but surely just tighten this up to where you get just enough tension to make the bike secure. So all this talk about what you should and shouldn't do when it comes to mounting your bike in a bike stand is just ridiculous. I do not recommend you clamping to the seat tube unless you absolutely have to. I can work on pretty much anything on my bike from here, and I have not found at any point where I've really had to mount this bike to the seat post to achieve what I needed to achieve. So, hopefully that puts this issue to rest, and we don't need to talk about this anymore, because it's just insulting that people think that those of us who have invested in bike stands, who have been cycling for years, have no clue of what they're doing. I'm not a paid YouTube reviewer or anything like that. My channel is not monetized. I do this for the sake of giving out good information to those who may be getting back into cycling and who want to work on their bikes themselves, like I did here. So anyway, I hope this lays that to rest, and I'll probably see you in the next video I create.